So Andre's going to count down for us.
3.
Oh, this thing is on.
Wait.
It's in the pocket. 1 second. Okay.
3, 2.
Hello everyone, this is Megan Meehan reporting for Alexander Gurman Productions. I am very pleased and honored today to be here with artist Ann Stanner. Ann is primarily a sculptor who makes these beautiful, beautiful pieces out of metal. As you can see, I'm holding one here, and it looks like waves, and there's little colored fish coming out of it, and it's gorgeous. This is a small piece, but you also do some very large pieces.
Oh, yeah.
So
I have public art.
Thank you for being here today, first and foremost.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
And secondly, tell me a little bit about how you decided to become an artist, and then how did you break into the industry?
Okay, well, I think from childhood, I always had certain ideas about being an artist. Although I didn't follow that path right away. My mother was an amateur painter, and my aunt also. And I always admired artists. So when I got to be around 21 or so, I started taking a class in my neighborhood in Flushing, Queens, at a little clay art studio. And I just fell in love with it from there on.
I love clay. I love working with it.
Yeah, so I started with clay, and then eventually I evolved into metal, but I still work in clay as well.
You
I
work
love
with a
them both.
variety of mediums. That's a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now, this is, as I said, this is a small piece, but you have made some pieces that are massive. Like you currently have one on display in Rockaway Beach, which is
Yeah, I did.
really, really large
Yeah.
scale. So what is the process like of making something so big, and what do you do with it after it goes off display?
All right, I'll tell you about that one. Well, I was invited to be in this show in Rockaway Beach for the summer, was from May through October. And so I created a piece. It's not huge it's about 6 feet high. And it's a wave form similar to this, but I had seahorses and sea stars in it, as you know, because it's by the beach. And it was part of a whole sculpture walk where there were
Yes,
about
it was beautiful.
16 other.
It was phenomenal.
You saw it?
I went to it, yes.
Yeah, good. So I was really very pleased to be in that show. So what I did is I designed the piece. I made a smaller maquette for it. This is like a maquette also. And then one of my colleagues helped fabricate it for me because it was a little too big for me to do myself.
Yeah.
2 people actually worked on it. And I did certain parts of it. I cut out the seahorses and so on and painted them.
What did you do with it when the show closed?
Well, I have a house upstate, so I had it moved up to my house.
So that's good.
Yeah.
So it
has
literally
a place.
has a home.
It's on my land right now.
Yeah.
Although I would love to sell it eventually, or at least get it into a more public space. I'm working on possibly in the Florida Keys.
Oh,
there
that would
might be a
perfect.
possibility.
Your work is beautiful, and it really can fit so well everywhere. Like and the thing I love about Ann's work is that it's also really 360. Like for example, there's a blue fish here, a darker blue fish here, a red one. I think it's an orange one, and then on this side you have a little green one. So no matter what angle you look at it, you see something new. I mean, they're phenomenal. About how long does it take you to complete something like this?
Well, for the little model?
Yeah.
It might be a month or so to actually conceive of, what I want to do. Usually I work with triangles a lot, as you can see, and curved triangles. And I decide on the scale, the measurements, and measure it out, then cut them, grind them, and then weld them together. And then also the fish as well. Usually I make a pattern for the fish. Just out of paper, and then I trace it on metal.
But they all somehow look a little different, so I mean, very unique. I really love it.
I have about 3 different kinds of fish on there. This was for the Hudson River, actually. It was for a competition, which didn't get realized, but anyway, I had a good time.
But it's even like
doing
this size is perfect for somebody in an apartment.
Oh yeah.
So what would you sell something like this for?
Oh, I'd say I'd have to sell it maybe about $2,500
Yeah, that's still very reasonable though.
these days for
materials.
art. Yeah, yeah.
So you were also an art teacher, and you teach at the Art Students League,
Right.
which is an absolutely famed school for artists.
Yes.
So what have your experiences as a teacher been like, and how have your interactions with the students inspired your own creativity?
Well, it's a wonderful place, the Art Students League. I can't say enough good things about it. And there are students there from all over the world, actually, and all ages. From even in the summer, there are high school students sometimes. And I'm a technical instructor for the welding class, metal sculpture and welding. And what's amazing to me is the variety of concepts that people have with the same
Isn't it?
basic materials.
what
Like
can
it's sheet
inspire
metal.
people?
Yeah, it's sheet metal. It's bars and rods and angle iron and flat bar. And also found objects some people use, but there just is a tremendous amount of variety.
I love working with found
Yeah.
objects. It's such a great way to like recycle, and it's so
It
fun
is.
to
It's
look at
very-
like new ways and new shapes to look
It-
at things. So I
yeah.
really appreciate that.
And it's, satisfying to feel like you're cleaning up the environment.
Yeah.
It's not all going into landfill.
So you are also part of a very well-respected organization known as the Society of Women Artists.
Yeah, New
right?
York Society of
New York
Women Artists.
Society of Women
Mhm.
Artists. And how did you get involved with that organization, and what kind of, doors has it opened to be a member with them?
Well, the New York Society of Women Artists was founded in 1925.
Very well-respected
when
organization.
women were hardly ever shown in New York, in the United States. So that was the main purpose then, to raise their visibility and get shows. And these days it's still a big part of what we do. Is the main event is having
And
shows.
you've exhibited at wonderful locations. Like you helped me get my first exhibition at Governor's Island,
Yes.
which has become an absolute hub of the arts. Anybody that's never been to Governor's Island, you really have to go between May and September. Specifically the last weekend there in September, they have like a big, huge art fair. Governor's Island is really, really on trend. So
Yes.
I can't recommend it
Right.
enough. And you have...
That wasn't through, that was really through my other
the
organization,
Sculptors Alliance, which is a wonderful organization
And-
as well.
Yeah, I'm the president of Sculptors Alliance, and that was formed in 1980. And similarly, the main purpose originally was to have exhibits. And it was formed by a group of sculptors who studied at Educational Alliance Art School down on the Lower East Side. And it's existed all this time. And so I write grant proposals, and we've been fortunate to get a grant from Lower Manhattan Cultural Council.
marvelous.
Not so much for the exhibit,
Congratulations.
not so much for Governor's Island exhibit, but we also do workshops there, creative sculpture
That are
workshops.
very beneficial, because these are
Yeah.
skills that are just invaluable to learn, because once you
Right.
learn it, you can apply it for the rest of your life. It's so
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, and Governor's Island is a beautiful place. It's like being out of New York City almost. It's a very special place.
Yes, it is. There's nothing really like it. If you've not been to Governor's Island and you're a fan of art, you have to go. It's really worth it. So as far as current exhibitions go, do you have any work currently on display, or do you have any shows coming up
I
that
have
you'd
a
like to mention?
show actually coming up. It's in New Jersey. It's the Art School at Old Church. It's in Demorest, New Jersey. That's with the New York Society of Women Artists group show. And that's starting Friday, next Friday.
Now, are you going to be exhibiting art at Art Expo in April, or are you going to at least visit Art Expo?
I would visit it. Yeah, I haven't made plans to, exhibit there.
But it's definitely, Art Expo is a fun place to go. If you love art, it's such a big international art show that it's
Yeah.
cool, if you can go in and take a look around.
Is that at the pier?
Wonderful.
The one at
Yeah,
the
it's
pier?
at the pier. I think it's April 21st this year.
Yeah.
So,
Actually, I'm going on vacation towards the end of April, so
So hopefully you
I
don't
may be
visit
able to
yet.
get there. I'm not sure.
well, this is marvelous. Actually, before you came here today, you were just doing something involved with the arts.
Yes.
You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, well, I've done a proposal for a monumental art statue for Central Park. It's for women's suffrage, and it's a very big deal. I mean, I think hundreds of sculptors are going to apply for it, so I have no way of knowing if I'll be
you would
selected,
you would
but
at least have the idea, and even if it doesn't get picked up this time, you
Exactly.
can use it some other time.
Yeah.
And find some other place. Like,
Yes.
I feel like whenever you think of something and you create something, it never goes to waste.
no. And, I made a maquette out of clay and photographed it and submitted that. And I just
great.
brought my proposal downtown where, to be
Marvelous.
submitted. So I'll find out very soon if I'm at least a semi-finalist. We'll see.
Well, if people are interested in hearing more about you and your art, what website or social media would you?
Well, I'm on the New York Society of Women Artists website, which is, www. You have to spell it out. New York Society of Women Artists.com. And I have a page on there with about 6 images.
Okay,
And I did have a website, but unfortunately it got taken down. So
Okay, so look for Ann Stanner on Society of Women Artists. So if
for
you-
now, I do plan to create a new website.
And if you Google her name, it's ANNE, and then the last name is Stanner, STANNER.
Right. If you Google me, a number of items will come up.
Yes, she's very well known and very well respected. So it was a very big deal to be able to interview you, and I'm so pleased that you came by today to
Well,
discuss it.
thank you so
And you
much.
brought this beautiful piece, so I really enjoyed
Thank
seeing
you.
you. So thank you so much, Anne.
You're welcome.
And I hope to talk to you more in the future about more projects.
Anytime, Megan.
Thank you.
Thank you.